Hello and welcome to Mr. Davis' classroom. This is Algebra 1, and today we're going over Lesson 8.8, which is factoring by grouping. So take a minute to start on this one up. Once you're ready, go ahead and move forward. All right, problem 1. What we have here is a cubic polynomial, which means we have an n value to the third, right? Which is a little bit more than what we're used to, right? We did stuff like this. That right there is extra. So we need to have some strategies to do that. So we need to have a couple of steps. The first one here is to look for the GCF, right? The greatest common factor. All right, so what I want to do is I want to look at those four terms and see if any of them are shared. So there can be two things that are shared, either numbers or variables. So if I look at the numbers part, see, we got 3. Well, 3 goes into 12. That's looking good, but does not go into 2 nor 8. So it does not look like I have a number that's a GCF. Next is a variable. Well, I have an n variable, an n variable, an n variable, no n variable. So I have no GCFs, no variables or no numbers. Second step is to group. Okay, I'm going to rewrite this expression, but when I group, it's going to be similar to AC factoring, and sometimes this will come out to something nice. So AC factoring says I'm going to group the first two and the last two, and then you look at what they have in common. So numerically, these first two have a 3 in common. With variables, they not only have an n in common, but they have an n squared in common, which gives me 3, oops, not 3, which gives me n minus 4. All right. Looking at the next one, numerically, they have a 2 in common. They do not have any variables in common, so I'm just left with n minus 4. Now, just like AC factoring, look what happened. We had two things that two parentheses that were the same, so we can group those. And we put a 3n squared plus 2 in front. This is factored form of that cubic polynomial. Okay, so we tried GCF first, that didn't work. Second step, group them. All right, here's one for you to try. Do the same thing. Look for GCFs, then grouping. All right, here's another one. This one has a 4th degree, which is called a quintic. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for a couple things, right? Same thing. GCF, right? Greatest common factor. All right, so I have numerically a 4. 4 goes into 8. 4 goes into 12. Success. 4 goes into 24. So I can pull out a 4. With variables, let's see, I have Q, 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 Q. I can pull out a Q as well. What do I have left? Well, if I take out numerically 4, that's all I have there. I still need Q to the 3rd power. Second term is going to be minus 2Q squared. Third term is plus 3Q, and fourth term is minus 6. All right, so we got the GCF out in front. Next step was to see if we can factor by grouping, right? And this factor by grouping is when we have 4 terms. Okay, so we do have 4 terms, and I'm just looking in between these parentheses, right? So from here to here, I have 4 terms. So I want to try grouping that. So 4Q, then we have Q cubed minus 2Q squared plus 3Q minus 6. Let's get a little working space. What's in common, right? So we have to, for Q. What's in common for these first two is Q squared, leaving me with Q minus 2. Over here, what's in common is the 3. So I need to pull out the 3, and then I get q minus, look at that, 2. Same terms, we can group those together, q minus 2. In the front, it's going to be q squared plus 3. And 4q goes along for the ride. That is the factored form of that original quintic polynomial. All right, so to recap, what we want to do is we want to look for GCFs first, then grouping second. And grouping we're going to use when we have 4 terms. Okay. Here's one for you to try with 4 terms. Once you're done with this, please move forward. Your homework's on page 515. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for stopping by Mr. Davis's classroom.